Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Anime Lounge Short Flights. Today, we are going to be covering Cour 2 of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. I have my good buddy Ryan with us. He's going to be joining us for this Cour of Bleach. Him and I have been talking about Bleach for years. I'm super happy to have him joining us for this because we couldn't stop talking about it enough when Cour 1 came on. So thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Just to give a quick synopsis of what happened in this episode, we find out that Ichigo is now back in the Soul Palace. He is working with Ichigogi, who is the leader of the Squad Zero. We also find out that Uryu makes a blood pact with Yuhuba and is also the successor for the Stern Raiders. That's super important information going on there. Wasn't seeing that coming. And we also find out that the meaning of the title, Last 9 Days. Super blown away about that. Couldn't believe it. I think it was the Kaiser Guessing was the title of the basically poem story about Yuhuba. And yeah, finding out that there's more to that story and couldn't believe it. But just to kind of go to the beginning, Ichigogi, interesting character. What did you think about him, Ryan?
The opening, I thought it was very interesting how he was telling Ichigo, hey, you're not quite ready to fight yet. And Ichigo, being his normal Ichigo self, was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go protect Soul Society right now. But I think it's gonna be a very intense training once we figure out how he's gonna prepare Ichigo for the upcoming battle with Yuaba and the Stern Raiders. It's gonna be very cool.
Yeah, it's interesting because we find out that Rukia and Renji have different training, and you're like, all right, well, why is Ichigo's training so different as compared to them? And like, where did he go? Like, I feel like that's a super important question. We need to find out where exactly he went to that the Soul King had to give him permission to go to.
Yes, that's something to look forward to as well. Also, I know it was mentioned in the last core that each of the members of the Zero Squad invented something for Soul Society. So finding out what Ichijoji invented would be really cool too as well.
Yeah, because did he just kind of invent like the hyperbolic time chamber, and that's what he's got going on, or like zero gravity stuff? Not zero gravity, 900% gravity, something crazy like that. Because that's kind of what it seemed like as far as Renji and Rukia is concerned.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like up until the point where Rukia got that phone call.
Yep.
That's another exciting piece that's coming as well.
Yeah. Her brother is healed, and basically he's like, I need to be strong enough. I need to make myself strong enough to be bragging about being strong. Is that kind of how you took that?
Yeah, so he's like, I wasn't strong enough to brag about being strong, but I need to get strong enough so that I can brag about being strong. I'm like, all right, let's see how strong that really is, especially knowing that he knows how strong Kenpachi is.
Yeah.
So
I can't imagine him. He would have to be stronger than Kampachi to make it. Like he would essentially have to be the strongest Soul Reaper to feel worthy of bragging about being how strong he is.
that's how I think Byakuya would see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's too prideful to be bragging about that if he didn't know easily he could defeat everybody without trying. Like that
Right.
that's just the standard in which he would set for himself.
Yeah.
So I really want to know what's going on there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then leading off of that into Urahara and Wako Mundo with the Car and Chad and Orihime, them doing all their training. That's going to be something interesting to see.
Yeah, you can almost. So, for anybody that doesn't really remember Bleach, Chad and Urahime trained to help Ichigo and then basically didn't do anything to help him ever. So, well, I can't say ever because they kind of helped in Waco Mundo, or at least Chad did a little bit, but
A little bit.
they so now they're training again. Hopefully, it's not for naught, and they're actually able to do something this time around because it would be kind of anticlimactic if we watched them train again and they didn't do anything. That would just be very unfortunate.
Yeah, that'd be very unfortunate. They're trying not to be, the Krillins of the anime.
Yes, it's
So,
the very good reference in that case because oh man, Chad is kind of just Yamcha where he just keeps dying.
yeah, I know, right?
Starts off super strong, in the end not so much. But he is just a regular human, so that's kind of
Yeah.
same concept. Weird. That's funny.
And
Um,
Orihime is actually kind of like Krillin, always healing people. Krillin has the
yes,
sensu beans, like always. So that's like perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, that,
yeah,
that
yeah,
fits.
that perfect. Um, no, just just so you know, we were the first ones to say that. And then the other super important part is Uryu coming. So we find out at the end of Core 1 that he has now become a traitor and he's joining the Sternritters. Come to find out that he is going to be the successor for Yuhaba, which is super crazy because he's never done that before. So you're like, well, he was the only Quincy to survive. So I feel like that's a super important concept to think back of when we go forward within the episodes.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be something to watch because throughout the entirety of Bleach, if you've watched the entirety of Bleach, Uryu's been kind of on Ichigo's side, but not like in the way of, okay, I understand you're trying to do something good, but you're not doing it the way that I would do it. So um, I think the other interesting thing was Shinsui showing up in Karakura Town with to Ichigo's friends. That was another one that was pretty big, and the way they described it with the subs was kind of different than how they worded it in the manga translations, which kind of was weird to me.
Yeah, do you not trying to do you remember what they had said? I don't remember. I know it was different. Um
So
enough
the way I remember in the manga was Shinsu showed up and said, "Hey, um, we're helping Ichigo. He's going to get stronger, but his power is going to be so great that he's probably not going to be able to come back to the real world because his power would probably destroy the real world." But in this one, he's like, "Hey, we think his power is going to be exponentially big and cause some problems on your world, but we're not sure. But just to make sure that we're sure, we're gonna not let him come back."
there's a 1 in 10,000 chance he doesn't come back. It's like
Right.
that's not that high. Like it's really I feel like that's gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
you might as well just tell him, hey, he's probably not coming back. Here is an ability to say goodbye for the last time because I don't know, we're nice, I guess.
Yeah. With
Like,
the tickets, the soul
yeah,
tickets.
I mean, that's got to have some sort of meaning to it because it makes no sense for the Soul Society to do that, even for Ichigo and everything he's done. It makes no sense.
Knowing how Captain Yamamoto was towards humans, yes, that doesn't make any sense. But Shinsui seems like a little bit of a nicer guy. He's the new Captain Commander. Kinder, gentler Soul Society.
Yes, try new things. Definitely learning from past mistakes, hopefully. So
Yes, hopefully.
it'll be interesting to find out. And then the last thing I really want to talk about is just so we have our story about Yuhuba. So it says he regains his pulse at 900 years. His strength
Brent.
at 90 years, and his life at 9 years. And then the part that we did miss out was the he rules the world in 9 days.
Yeah.
So or reign over the world in 9 days is I don't remember exactly. Sorry for anybody who does remember exactly, but basically we have 9 days until the Stern Ritters / Yuhaba takes over the world. So that
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be super important. Basically, everything's going to have to happen in 9 days. So we're already 3 days into it, so we have a week.
Yep. Things are going to move very quickly, and there's going to be lots of exciting things happening that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, I'm 100% looking forward to it. You and I both read the mangas, so we have ideas about what's going on. But without giving anything away, it's going to be intense. That's if you couldn't guess that at this point. I don't really know what you're watching at this point
I,
because it has
I
been
think
nothing short.
intent. I think intense would be like underselling it. Like if I had to put the amount of craziness that's about to happen into a like metaphor, I would say this is that last 5 minutes before Planet Namek blew up and Goku fought Frieza and killed him. That's where we're at. And I think this is gonna be better than that. Like it's gonna be more rewarding watching it than that was.
Yes, my wife's not going to complain about something happening in 5 minutes over 40 episodes. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, but I really can't wait. Episode 1 for Core 2 did not disappoint. An amazing job. I can't wait for episode 2 on next week because it's definitely living up to the hype. What do you think?
Oh yes. I've waited so long for this and I'm so excited. I couldn't be happier.
Awesome. I'm glad it's living up to the hype for you. Thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of Anime Lounge Short Flights. Catch us next week when we talk about episode 2 of Thousand Year Blood War. Again, make sure to check out the anime show on Facebook and Instagram. Also, please give us a like on YouTube, drop us a comment, and let us know what you think of this episode. Have a good one, everyone.
Peace.